What's happening, beautiful people? Welcome back to Grateful Panic Knife Reviews. I am so glad that you stopped by, and I hope at the end of the video you are too. Today we're gonna be doing something way different. I'm gonna be attempting to review a flashlight, and I haven't done that yet, so bear with me and hopefully it's not too painful. I was approached by a sales rep for Odepro, and well, she messaged me on Facebook, because it wasn't like she walked up to me on the street and was like, "Hey, you are." She just messaged me and was like, "Hey, would you be interested in reviewing one of our flashlights?" And I said sure, so I did the whole ins and outs and sent it to me. And anyway, it was free, and it's probably more than likely going to go into a giveaway, so one of you guys will end up with it. But I told her that I would give it an honest review, so any negatives that I have, they're not meant to bash the company or the flashlight, or it's genuinely constructive criticism. And if it's something important enough, something they can look into and maybe change it and fix it or whatever, although I highly doubt that my word has enough bang to make a company change something on one of their products. But I'm just going to tell the truth and tell you what I think about it, which I try to do with everything anyway. But before we take a look at this flashlight, let's go ahead and get a quick panic dump and beverage check out of the way. And today is kind of funny, because as I was gathering up the stuff that I carried today, I realized that I was kind of strapped and didn't realize it. Like, I carried a lot of stuff, and this one I definitely intended to carry, the QSP Penguin that we just reviewed, and it's just because it makes it's really useful for the things I need it for at work. But when I went to reach for it today to use it, I pulled out this, and whoa, dang, I grabbed the wrong knife. But no, I didn't, because the QSP was in there too. So I had both of those, the slayback and the QSP, and then of course I had the Mannered EDC Knives Field Trekker. And this is something new to my carry. It is the Still Time coin from, let's see if we can make you focus so you can see it. Probably not, but it's a cool little dude. I've been wanting it for a long time, and I kept missing the drops, and he messaged me one day last week and said he had some extras since I'd missed the most recent drop, and asked me if I was still interested. And so of course I had to get one, and it's really cool. I'll put it in a video like where you can actually see it coming up here soon. And then I had a Holiday Leatherworks organizer with the Machine Era brass markup and Alox Pioneer, and I had one of my duplicate old school tattoo flash hanks, and this one's from KnivesFAST, and it's great quality, just like the Lone Star hank is. Oh, and I stumbled across this Knives Ship Free Buffalo slip and thought it would be like the perfect size for the Rough Rider micarta work knives, and it is like absolutely perfect. So I was carrying the blue denim one today, so that's 2 denim micarta knives on me. And as far as the beverage goes, we're drinking on some little something from Lagunitas. And today I want to give, let's send a big old hearty Grateful Panic cheers out to Gary from the Last Ranger YouTube channel. And if you're not already subscribed to Gary's channel, you definitely need to head on over there and subscribe to him and check his stuff out. He puts out some really good videos, and to me, he's got just the most relaxing, like calming way about him, and like I sit there and listen and watch his videos, and I just get so relaxed and like almost zen. But yeah, so I'll leave the link to his channel in the description, so definitely go over there and check him out. But Gary, my brother, cheers, sir. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive on down and get up close and personal with the Odepro NT21 Flashlight. Alrighty guys, so like I said, we're going to be checking out the Odepro, Odepro, Odepro NT21. Odepro NT21. That's how I'm going to say it. It's the Odepro. We're going to be checking out this flashlight, and I'm going to be doing an honest review. So any negatives that I mention are not to bash on the flashlight or the company, but you know, merely as constructive criticism, something, you know, that they might can look at in order to rectify what may or may not be wrong. And you know, of course, a lot of it's going to be purely opinion based. Matter of fact, I think probably 100% of it's just my opinion, nitpicky stuff. But let's go ahead and get into it, and we'll open the box and show you what you get when it arrives. And it's, I gotta admit, it's really nice packaging. Pretty fancy for the price of the flashlight and what you get. You're gonna get the flashlight, of course. It's a good looking flashlight for sure. We'll go over what that means here in just a few. Get a good look at that. Turn it this way. Alright, Arthur. Underneath this, you're going to get your charging cable, and this will definitely be mentioned in the pros. And you're gonna get some spare O-rings. And you're gonna get a little belt holster, and when it comes, it's gonna have loud. It's gonna have two 18650 batteries right now, and there's one in the flashlight, so there's only one in there. And you'll get your user's manual, your warranty card, and magic phone cooperate, and your lanyard. And bye-bye box. Alrighty, so when you first get it, it's not going to have any batteries in it, of course. So you have to install your batteries, and the only access is the tail cap. This is the only thing that comes apart on it. So get your, and it's, you know, decent little tail cap along with it. Very sturdy. The threads are nice. They're real smooth. They don't hang up at all. Yeah, really nice threads. And we'll see now that, of Okay, the red light is when you cut the flashlight off. If it sits for a minute, then a lockout. It goes into lockout mode where you have to press and hold the button in order to cut the flashlight on. But when you get it, you put the battery in, it's not going to be locked out. So you just hit it once for on. Now press and hold is going to be to cycle through your modes, and it's basically just going to cycle through the your different levels. And then from wherever you're at, when you decide to cut it off, you just press let go, and then it's going to remember whatever mode you were in, whatever brightness you were at when you cut it off, and it's going to go back to that. Alright, so we are in lockout mode, and honestly, this red light comes in pretty sticking handy for finding this guy in the dark. I really actually like that feature. But so then basically what you're going to do is you're just going to press and hold, and it'll come on and it goes straight to turbo mode. So from there, the only thing you can really access, it's a very simple user interface. Press and hold, goes down to low, and you've got medium, high, and turbo, and then you have 2 clicks for strobe. And I mean, that's basically the only difference is that I found from what it says in the user's manual and online is, okay, if you're at off and you press and hold, it goes straight to turbo. Well, if it's on and you're in low and want to go to turbo, if you press and hold, you've got to go through medium, high, and then it'll go into turbo. But I found that if you do a quick press and then press and hold, then it goes to turbo. So that's pretty nifty. Okay, let's go ahead and just get into some quick pros and cons on this thing. And I guess we'll go ahead and get the negative out of the way, because they say, you know, eat your vegetables first and then you can have dessert. Okay, pros wise, and most of these, if not all, are purely just opinion based. And the first one is going to be so ridiculously nitpicky that it's pretty much insane. I don't like where the holes for the lanyard end up when it's tightened all the way down. For some reason, I just feel like they should end up here. Like, here's the switch, it should hang down right there. That's just more aesthetically pleasing to me, and I think that works better. I don't know why they end up there, and they might be different on every model. The tolerances and callouts for machining the threads might not specify that the cap has to end up at a certain spot, and if that's the case, then these holes should be drilled afterwards with the cap on the flashlight, so that they'll end up in the same place every time. But again, nitpicky. I don't like that there is no magnet in the tail cap. That to me is just an invaluable feature on the flashlight, and I've gotten spoiled having O-lights with the magnetic tail caps. I don't like that, you know, once you're on and you're going through the modes, there's no reverse. So say like you're in medium or high and you need to go to low, like you still got to go through turbo. If you're in medium, you got to go through high and turbo to get to low. If you're in medium, or if you're in high, you got to go through turbo to get to low. And I don't like that. I think there needs to be like a reverse mode, and several of the flashlights I have that, or you can just cut it off. If you're not in memory mode, it'll automatically go to low when you cut it on. But I like a flashlight to be able to, if I need it in low, to get it in low quickly. And I also don't like that it doesn't have a moonlight mode, because again, that's another thing I've been spoiled with that's become invaluable. So positives. I like the size. It's a good, it feels to me like a very purpose-driven size. Like this is, especially with the crenulated bezel there, it feels like this is the flashlight if you're going to be in a position to where you might encounter unsavory characters. This is a good flashlight to carry, because it's big enough to where you can, you know, use it as a striking weapon. I mean, if somebody were to hit me, I would 100% stop doing whatever I was doing that they didn't like. I can guarantee you that. So, oh, yep, one more con that I left out. I do wish the knurling, or I guess it would, not really knurling, but these grooves were a little more aggressive. I mean, they're not really slippery per se, but they could be a little, especially if it's going to be used as a potential striking tool, that could be just a little bit more aggressive. But anyway, like I said, it's a good size to where if you needed to use it with authority, you could, but it's not so big that it's bulky and cumbersome. And also, it's big enough to where you don't feel like you have to be super careful to not drop it because it's so small. So I like the size. I do like that. I've never had to use a flashlight as a weapon, but I do like the fact that you've got that option. I dig the magnetic charging, because that's one thing that I need to show you as far as the pros go. So you've got the magnetic charging, and then to boot, this cable is some pretty good quality braided cable, so that's definitely a plus. I like the fact, even though I probably would never do it, but at least you have the option to sling the pocket clip. I like the fact that you can reverse the pocket clip, even though with as much flashlight as you have hanging out on the other side of the clip, it's probably not going to sit very well on the bill of your cap. If you decide to use it like that, it's probably going to be kind of weighted down a little bit. I do like the fact that the user interface is, you know, very, very user-friendly, very, very simple. It's not complicated at all. You can get through the modes, you know, with ease. And I also like the fact that even though there is no it's not a magnetic tail cap, I do like the fact that you can stand it on the tail cap without it falling over. So if you needed it to, say you were in a dark room, you wanted to go hands-free and you just wanted to set it down and use it as kind of a little lantern, you've got that option. You know, all in all, it's a decent flashlight. I haven't had any problems with it. Price-wise, at first I was thinking it was, you know, maybe a little bit steep. $60 for this, I would expect, with, you know, the lack of functions, for it to be closer to maybe $45, $50 at the most. But it does come with two 18650 batteries, so there's that. And, you know, it comes with O-rings and the lanyard, and the charging cable's good quality. So, you know, $60 really isn't super bad for it. But yeah, all in all, it's a decent flashlight. It functions well. It does what its intended purpose is. But that's gonna do it, guys. That's all I have to say about this flashlight. I can say it does honestly get the Grateful Panic seal of approval of 1 3/4 thumbs up. I mean, it's just a good functioning flashlight. It's going to do what you need it to do. It's going to do what it's advertised as being able to do, and I think you'll be completely pleased with it. It's not really a fidgety flashlight. You're not going to be able to sit there and just go through all the modes and check out the different strobes and flashes and blinkies and this and that, or reprogram it. But you know, you'll have a good flashlight, and it seems very well built. Like I said, it's got great threads on it. They're not loose at all. They tighten down great, but they don't bind up. I mean, they loosen right up, which reminds me of one more small con. Whereas it does have the lockout feature, if it sits for a minute or more after you cut it off, there's no dedicated function on here to where you can lock it out yourself. It does have kind of a mechanical lockout, I guess, where if you turn the tail cap at least a quarter of a turn, it's not going to work. So if you're worried about it cutting on in your pocket, you can always do that. But yeah, great functioning flashlight. It's basically nothing fancy. It's just going to do what they say it's going to do. So if that's the type flashlight you're looking for, then I definitely recommend it. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, and you are more than welcome to come back anytime. And until next time, guys, get out there and EDC your ass off and do something nice for somebody. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.